I'm up right now. Bitch, I'm up right now. Ain't never coming down.
Check out a whole lot of cash podcasts. YouTube, it's near you.
They can suck my dick. Ain't never gonna
Go check out that podcast. Whole lot of cash, a lot of street shit on there, a lot of good information. Everybody tune in.
Be aware, any attempt to add a third party to any call from Illinois DOC will result in inmate disciplinary actions.
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Yo, what's the word? Whole lot of cash. Who we got on the mic tonight?
Man, this your boy Supercharged, a.k.a. Party Murphy, the biggest, whichever one you want to call it. What's two of them, bro?
Yeah. What's the word, brother? Glad to have you on the platform tonight.
Yeah, man, it's been a long time coming. You probably got it, kid.
For sure. So, let the world know where you calling from right now.
Well, right now, I'm in a prison facility called Galesburg. Medium security,
How long you been gone, bro?
just over 20 years.
You mind telling us, what got you gone just over 20 years?
Well, they charged me and found me guilty of first-degree murder, armed robbery. I was 21 at the time, 41 now. So, yeah,
Okay.
that's how they got me, man.
Damn. So, where you from?
I'm from the Englewood area of Chicago, Southside stand up, 64 Morgan, 62nd and Morgan,
So, what was it like coming from over there, coming from the dub?
In the nutshell, man, not to get into any crazy stories, but a lot of murder, a lot of gang banging, a lot of drug dealing, a lot of fights, poverty. You know how it goes, bro. You know the area. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure. We come from the same place, so I definitely get it. But sometimes the world don't really understand, and they need to hear from the mouths of the individuals that area spawn.
True.
I'm gonna ask this because I think it's important, considering the age that most of these young guys jump off the porch. What age would you say you officially jumped off the porch?
Officially, I would say by the age of 11.
Okay.
Yeah, I was authentic by then, man. Like it was no turning back, at that age,
Yeah.
I was already toting the pistol, you know what I'm saying? Holding the work for the big homies, all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That sound like Lil Yummy Sandifer all over again.
It's crazy you say that because that was like the guy I looked up to, you know what I'm saying? That was the big homie for me, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Like it's crazy you say that.
Yeah. All right. So then, so you off the porch, you living your life. Then this situation happens. You find yourself waking up 20 plus years later. What would be one of the most valuable lessons that you would say that you've learned in this time?
That I am more than what people say I am. I think that's the most valuable thing that I've learned in 20 years, man. Like, keep in mind when you a youngster, you really don't know who you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of what you think you are is coming from outside entities, right?
Right.
Being in prison so long, it caused me to go within myself, so to speak, and just learn who I am. I found out that music wasn't just a passion. Just being creative in general was a passion. You know what I'm saying? I found out that I'm a more loving person than this cold-hearted criminal they pegged me to be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that I learned, that I'm more than what society say I am.
And when you had that moment of awareness, right? That moment of self-awareness, where you realize the value of yourself. How did that change your trajectory, right? Because I know you had plans. I'm sure you had plans from day one on what you was gonna do when you stepped up out of there. So how did that change where you saw your life going once you realized, like, man, I'm somebody?
Well, I guess you could say, like, so of course, you know me for a while, so you know I used to do the music or whatnot. I never took into consideration that I could be one of the elites, right?
Okay.
So, because I never figured that, I never took steps towards it. But once I figured out that, like, man, I can really do this and it can be possible, you know.
You had mentioned to me a little while ago about this A&E special. He was talking to me about the conditions of IDOC. You in Galesburg, right?
Yeah.
Right, it's called Hill Correctional Facility. So what's it like in Hill Correctional Facility? I mean, by that question, I mean the living conditions. You feel me?
I mean, depending on where you at, you know, all the showers might not work. You know what I'm saying? You got flooding cells, water leaking out the walls. You know, it ain't in the greatest of conditions. You can tell, like, it's on its way to becoming a parchment if they don't start remedying some of these things, you know?
And by parchment, you mean the penitentiary in Mississippi?
Absolutely.
That shit look third world, you hear me?
Yeah, man. This is actually a new facility, fairly new anyway. I think they built this sometime in the 80s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's ran down, bro. Like, it's some of this stuff is ridiculous. Like, you would have to, like, really visualize it and see it for yourself to really know what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, it's on its way, man. I'll say that much. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the penitentiary child like? What they feeding y'all in there?
Oh, man. I don't know what to call some of this stuff, man. I want to call it food, but, you know, sometimes it just ain't food, man. You know, every now and then you might get some baked chicken. It'd be undercooked.
Yeah.
You remember the baked chicken. I know you remember the baked chicken.
I remember that bogus ass shit. Hell yeah.
A lot of potatoes. You know, a lot of mystery meat, as I call it. Like, you know, they be saying it's meatballs. I be like, this don't look like a meatball to me. Yeah, man, like, it ain't the best of food, man. You know, brothers eating to live, man. You gotta eat something, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Man.
If the commissary ain't jacked up, man, then you gonna starve, man. Like, the portions are super small, you know? Yeah.
Say it's rough. It's rough if you ain't getting that bread in. That state pay ain't gonna cut it out.
Oh man, then even with that though, you only going once a month. You know, the commissary. So, and not to mention now they got some new bullshit they doing where when you go to the store, you know, you spend $150 on food, and of course that's not gonna fit in those little property boxes or whatever. And they come through and they do compliance checks and box checks. And they want to take the excess food that you got, but you need that food because you only going once a month. You feel me? And you got to make it the whole month. You know? So yeah, man.
I remember them compliance checks. You gotta have 24 noodles. You got anything over 24, they taking it.
They not even counting. They not even counting. Like with the item wise, they just like, man, anything excess you got out, give it to us. You can't have it. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, man, it's rough, man.
So, with that being said, how do you pass time in there? What do you do to make it through your days?
I'm an artist. I'm a writer. You know, like them the things that I use to, you know, pass my time. I might read a book. You know, send some emails out. You know, listen to some music on my tablet. Like, you know, but all that becomes repetitive after a while. But, you know, I would say the writing and the art is the thing that really keep me, you know, focused and not just spazzing out and going insane because all the monotony and boredom, man, you know?
So the writing, I know you said you used to do music, And I'm glad you brought that up. I'm gonna double back on that, but you still writing music, or you just writing books now? What you doing?
Yeah. I still do music, not as much as I used to.
Okay.
And not because I fell out of love with it or anything like that. It's just because it's something about coming down to the joint. It kind of stifles your artistic thought process when it comes to music. You know what I'm saying? Like in the county, I guess it was because we had nothing else to do. You know, we only had a TV, and you know, you could barely hear that joint because it's so loud on the wave.
Right.
I could just go catch me a corner and a piece of paper in his ear and tap on the wall of the door, and I could create a hit. You know what I'm saying? But now here it's just a little different. You know, yeah, man. Like you don't get a lot of what can I say? Alone time. I guess because you in the day room. you get what I'm saying, though, man. You've been through it, man. You
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, man.
With that being said, you know, and I agree, going to the penitentiary does stifle your creative process a little bit. But for me, when I was in that situation, what that deal was, it made me hone in on different artists that I like, and I kind of drew inspiration from them to try to continue to be creative because I understood those obstacles. What's your top 5 favorite artists right now?
Are we speaking like in general, or are we just talking about right now?
We talking about right now.
Oh man, of course, Lil Durk, Babyface Ray. Believe it or not, I'm a big fan of Sada Baby, Little Baby, and I guess I'm still a big J. Cole fan. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's a solid 5. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of. I see why you like Babyface Ray. Kind of surprised to hear you say Sada Baby, but I ain't gonna call him whack. He decent. And everybody else, that's a solid 5 though. That's a solid 5 for sure.
Yeah, Sada Baby, that's my boy, man.
Yeah. All right, well, look, man, you know, hopefully, man, I can get you back for a part 2 before we close this part 1 out, right? I wanted to kind of not dig into your case, not at all, because you got a pretty heavy number, did you not, bro?
Well, compared to other guys, not really, but, you know, for anybody who get this number, it was heavy. They gave me 48 years at 100%.
Okay. Let me tell you something, man. 48 is a heavy number, nigga. Don't downplay that number.
Well, I just see it in comparison to everybody else. Like, these guys, they got 75.
True.
80.
True.
90. You know what I'm saying?
The facts.
Like, and it's like, man, like, y'all know we not going to live this long, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, why would you might as well have gave me life. You know what I'm saying? That's the equivalent of what you just said out your mouth. 48 years, that's life, man. Do the math.
For sure.
I was 21 when I caught the case. You know, you give me 48 years, you know, like, shit.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, man, I hear the life and the energy in your voice. You definitely don't sound like you on your last leg.
Never take it from me, baby.
You got anything in the pipelines that you might want to speak about that might even push you to the door a little bit sooner, or is it too early to reveal that?
Well, no. So look, right. I got a court hearing coming up, August 5th. I got my post-conviction in for the young adult situation. You know, I was 21. I'm trying to tell them, like, look, you know, in the wake of everything y'all doing with the youthful offenders and the young adults, like, man, I should be entitled to be resentenced, you know, and get a lighter sentence because, you know, I was just a kid when you really look at it. I was only 21 for a month. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get them to resentence me with that. But on top of that, I guess what I want people to really know is there's a lot of bills that the legislators are trying to bring into effect, and they need support. You know, you got the under 21 parole bill. We need that passed. There's a lot of guys been locked up since they was 17, 18, 19, and, you know, they've been gone 30, 40 years. It's like, man, come on, man. They've done enough time. We need to get them out. We need a blanket parole bill to be passed. You know, they trying to get that done. So I would say I need people to support that. You know what I'm saying? And man, you know,
Is there a petition? Is there how you got to let people know how they can support it?
So the quickest way is to go to paroleillinois.com, and they will give you all the information you need, or to restorativejustice.com.
Restorativejustice.com.
It will guide you to all of those bills, yeah.
All right, man. Well, I want to make sure we end this smoothly. So I'm going to say,
1 minute left.
there you go. You got anything you want to say to the world before we get up out of here? I'm going to bring you back, bro. But you got anything you want to say to the world real quick?
Yeah, man. I'll be back, man. You know, stay tuned, man. I ain't even got into the real yet, so stay tuned, man.
All right, bro. We out. Cash.
These puss ass niggas, I tell you, they gon' whisper your accomplishments and scream your failures.